Okay, this is a review of my new Kingvale Powered Loveseat. This is a recliner, of course, and it is very comfortable. My wife bought this for me for our game room slash collection room slash theater. But as you see, right off the bat, it's not a true love seat because of the center console, but I'll get to that in a minute. It's kind of difficult to cuddle in a love seat when you got this big blockage. But anyway, I really wanted this one. I tried it out in the store. They had a black and a red one. I opted for black. That's my favorite furniture color. And it felt so good. And the recliner, of course, so good for my feet. I drive so much in my job that like, my neck and my feet bother me after long days. And this is wonderful therapy. So let's take a look. It is real leather. And as you see, I had it. My wife bought this for me right before she went on vacation, so she didn't get to see the delivery of it. But I oversaw that. I watched the guys assemble it, and really a good quality seat. And it has on both sides, of course, controls for each individual love seat here. And the buttons are, of course, you got the recline, come out, retract it, a headrest, bring the headrest back, and a light. I'll show that in a minute. And what's nice, when you push this, they're really touch sensitive. They're not true buttons, and it will bring out the footrest and recline back. Now this is fully reclined without the headrest being moved, and we compare it to the other side of the love seat. You can see just how far it goes. You see that distance there with the console part. That's how far it moved. And it stretches out there pretty good. And to bring it back in, of course, it's the next button over. And it's relatively quick. I mean, it's a lot of ground to cover. The headrest is a little harder to see on film, but I'll show you this as well. And you just barely touch the headrest part. And that's fully extended. Helps a lot when you're really fully reclined. And that's what helps my neck and everything after all the driving that I do. So go back and bring it back out. And they're nice and quiet. The motors are very quiet. Barely any humming. So that's a nice touch. And the light, of all things, kind of illuminates your drink, but it only really works if you're using a glass with relatively clear liquid in it. And it's pretty bright. Kind of has a neat like mirror effect in there. I'll show you here in the dark. There we go. Again, with glass, with glass or clear plastic and with clear liquid, it looks really neat. But otherwise, it's kind of gimmicky if you don't. Like with cans or mugs and stuff, it just doesn't really work. So, what else is neat about the couch? It has 3 storage compartments in it. It has storage in both the armrests on either side of the couch, and they're kind of deep. They go down there pretty well, and it gets shallower as you go towards the back, but that's nice and soft in there as well, so it won't scratch up whatever you put in it. And this side is where, since the right side of the couch is mine, this is where I keep the game controllers for the modern gaming consoles that we have. And in the middle is the console itself, where we keep all the remote controls and for all the various devices that my wife and I use. Now, I have to say, I really love this couch. My wife did nice getting this for me. And I always, like I said, I sit on the right, she sits on the left, but it's not exactly a love seat because you can't cuddle when you got a console in the middle. So we're just going to call this our gaming couch. Now what's interesting about the console is they do have a version without this, but it's not powered, and that was a make or break for me. My wife and I just brainstormed and agreed that we needed it powered. So we had to just settle for having a console in the middle. But that's just a minor gripe. I'm already over that. And there's another little minor gripe. When you're sitting down and reclining, let me see if I can put this in perspective by sitting down on it. here are the buttons on the console, but bringing the camera closer to my face, you lose track of the buttons. And when you reach for a drink, you sometimes accidentally hit the buttons, and you're throwing your feet will come out, or but you don't mean it to, or your headrest will go back, and it's kind of startling because you don't mean to do that. But that's, again, a minor gripe. These are very touch-sensitive buttons. You only have to kind of hover over them, and they work. You see it just barely hovered over. But again, minor gripe. All the benefits of the couch far outweigh the complaints. It was a very heavy couch. I'm not exactly weak, but I could not really lift this thing. I had glad there were 2 big delivery guys put in here. I love it. I recommend it highly. Again, this is the Kingvale Powered Loveseat. Has the console. That's the only way you can get it. And check it out. It's a cozy couch. We got this at Rooms to Go. You ought to go in there and try this. Have fun.